In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast about love, hate and everything in between, in which we something in such a greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm another guy.
I'm the third man.
And I'm here as well. I can safely say I'm very aware that you're in the room right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, yeah.
Great, actually, thanks. Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, so I meant to say like how we
I thought
are.
it was questions to the room.
I said like how are you, but I was looking at
I know, I ignored that.
yeah.
But now I'm talking to John, but looking at Nick.
This is very confusing.
Yes.
I don't know where I stand.
Especially for the
I'm
listener.
sat down. I'm not standing at all.
Well, I for one am very glad that after last week's highly politicised episode,
Yeah.
it's all sorted.
Oh, we solved it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
Everything's under control now.
Britain's on the up and up.
Yeah. Britain.
Britain, here.
A country on the move.
The streets are paved with gold.
Yeah, we've really nailed it.
Yeah, it's
As a
great.
country.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So I guess we're back to like, regular...
Usual old format.
Yeah.
Call it that.
Regular loves and hates and all that.
Sure, why not?
How does everybody feel about the onset of summer, which is upon us now, apparently?
Summer.
Well, the one good thing is the clocks have gone forward.
The clocks have gone forward.
That's
Over
what
the
I was
weekend.
That's what I was
The
alluding
one
to.
good thing about that
Sure.
is that we do get lighter evenings.
That is very
I feel
true.
like that's the compensation for losing an hour.
And I like that.
Yeah, I'm loving the lighter evenings.
What I don't like about this so-called summer we're apparently
This so-called
experiencing,
summer.
yeah,
That
is
the
that this
liberal
morning
elite,
that the snowflakes out there are saying we should be happy for. I had to scrape ice off my windscreen this morning.
It was bloody cold this morning.
But you could see it really clearly.
The sun was up, blazing
bright.
down, so hot that it couldn't melt the ice on my windscreen.
Oddly enough, I think in the days leading up to the big switch, the big flip around,
Yeah.
I was waking up about an hour early.
Right.
That's weird, isn't it?
How ironic.
Yeah, because now I'm waking up at normal
The
time.
right time.
Oh, that's good.
Aren't they going to cancel this?
Yes.
There's talk of just doing away with daylight savings, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And I'm like, "Really? Is this good?"
I think that's a bad idea.
Okay,
I think it's a bad
I enjoy
idea.
it because it confuses people, and that's always funny.
Okay, well, here's a question then. Are we now in daylight saving time, or are we in daylight saving time in the winter?
We're in daylight savings time in the winter because that's when we're safe.
I would have thought so, yes.
Am I wrong?
Apparently so.
Oh God!
Because
But surely we're saving
With daylight
the smaller
extending
amount of
time.
daylight.
yeah,
Daylight stretching time.
yeah, but it's like we're getting
We're making better use of a smaller amount of daylight.
no.
That's the point of
Like yes, I would agree with you there, but no. Apparently, the summer
Is the
is the odd one. The summer is the wrong one.
right?
Greenwich Mean Time is for winter, and apparently it's daylight saving time in the summer to get more sun in the evenings.
Okay.
Apparently,
Here's a question:
yeah,
do other countries have daylight savings time?
yes, but not as a hard and fast rule.
Right.
Do what you want. Just if it's light out, don't bother go to work or
Yeah.
go to bed or anything. Just
If
stay
you,
out.
If you saw a bat, go to bed.
Yeah.
Just
That's
in
the
general,
rule.
yeah.
See a bat, go to bed.
Well, surely,
Fuck, it's a bat.
surely the problem only
In
stems
here, I'd be
from-
worried about that.
because we global. Oh, not
To bed with
globally.
you.
Yeah.
But if we try to,
Global warming.
but if every country tries to like say, oh, business starts at 9 a.m. That's
Yeah.
where the problems begin. Because then
Massively.
with the different time zones, everyone's like,
Different time zones and different countries doing or not doing daylight savings. Holy crap.
yeah.
I'm glad I'm not in charge of this.
So if you lived in Iceland and where you get like 2 hours of sunlight
Maybe less.
a day, maybe less a day.
Just on a good day.
And a Viking might attack you.
The problems are like when they're getting up at like they have to get up at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and go to work and do all that. But what if they kept it exactly as they were? But then just as a country they were like everybody in the country, the national get out of bed time is 10 a.m.
Yeah, like
Like
yeah, could it
But
work?
if it was still dark, what difference would that make?
it probably...
It would just mean I went to bed
then.
an hour later.
But you'd have to... Yeah, but
It's all relative.
Yeah.
You could almost hand it over to the businesses, and they could make so. For example, like business, your company starts work at 9 o'clock, but maybe they shift it to starting work at 8 o'clock, or whichever way it goes. I don't pretend to even begin to understand.
No, I'm very confused. Yeah.
Yeah, you lost me at 8 o'clock.
You lost me at daylight saving.
This has been a great opener to what we'd like to call.
It's just confusion.
You've just listened to a classic, A Sugar Called Hate Bit.
That was a great intro.
We really.
That was a really
leant
good
into
intro.
the bit, I think.
I thought that was excellent. It was very tight.
We didn't say enough about what we hated, though.
You know what I
Oh
hate?
yeah.
What do you
Should we
hate?
do the
Tom?
what?
I
Go
hate,
on.
I hate summer.
Is this where we're going to
No,
do
that's not my
this?
actual hate.
Oh,
Who's got a hate?
I've got hate.
oh my.
I hate.
Here we go.
No.
Yeah, here we
Here we go. Here comes the bile.
He's going to wheel out a hate.
Bring the fury.
I hate the fact that we can't use the term social justice
Oh god.
Oh, God.
without there being connotations. Here's my reason.
Go
right?
on.
I'm doing a pitch for a company at the minute
Sure.
for my day job, graphic design company, and they are social work. They're a social working company,
Okay.
right? And in their sort of spiel about what they do, they say that one of their sort of tenets of what they're going out to achieve is to achieve social justice.
What is social justice?
Well, in the purest definition of the phrase, social justice is
You've seen Avengers, right?
Sure.
it's that. It's when they punched
3 weeks.
Ultron
3 weeks.
through his heart, and his heart came out, and it was like that's so.
Oh, that was pretty sweet.
That's pretty awesome. It's essentially just justice in a social environment. It's as simple as that.
Oh.
So, for example, it's unjust the way there's a poverty discrepancy
Yeah, okay.
in the country.
I understand.
And that's a social issue. So, social justice would be somehow equalising that.
Social justice is like an offset of communism.
Okay. Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
I guess this is partly part of the problem.
Social justice would be giving equal opportunities to people who are not equal. And what's that called, children? Communism!
In the interests of fairness, tonight we have assembled two straw men to discuss this argument.
Yeah.
Sorry, please continue.
But that term, social justice, and the additional term, social justice warrior,
Sure.
you heard of this term?
I've heard that term,
Yeah.
yes.
Has been co-opted by basically the hard right as a way to sort of insult
Yeah,
lefty snowflakes.
I see.
People who care about the feelings and, perceptions of other people.
People who aren't self-centered,
Yeah,
in other words. People who care about others selflessly,
exactly.
let's say.
Shall we say.
Let's say
or
that.
even on a much lower level, just aren't a dick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
People who aren't a dick, but
Cool.
on any level on the internet, talk about how little of a dick they are. Oh, you're a social justice warrior.
Oh,
You're just and it's what's stupid about it is that we should all want to be one of those. Like that's a person who fights for people to not have a shit old time.
Yeah.
Basically, you brought up the Avengers, but in a funny sort of way. Like, it's an aspirational thing. We should want to be a social justice warrior. But I feel like in this pitch that I'm doing for this company, I can't use the term social justice or someone who is fighting for social justice, despite the fact that's what these social workers do, because I feel like it's got this connotation of being an insult.
People will think it's like a hippie jam fest.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, oh, this campaign, this is just a lefty snowflake bollocks campaign.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be that. I want it to be for everyone.
Isn't it weird, like how it went from being like somebody took the word social justice and like appended like an extra word, and then we're like that was bandied around for a bit, and then those words suddenly became like capitalized,
Yeah.
and then they got
Acronymized.
acronymized.
To
Yeah.
SJW.
That's a good
So,
word.
so suddenly you're like,
I hope it's
Yeah, better be.
For
It
John's
should
sake.
be.
well, suddenly that you're right though. Suddenly that phrase, word, those three letters has got so much means
completely
so much
independent
more
of its origin meaning, though.
to the point where in your kind of branding, you can't have. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you can't have any word around the areas of social and justice that might indicate you're championing or
I know.
fighting or
Which is
being a warrior
it's so
for
frustrating
something.
because it's exactly what they do, and there's no better words for it. I've been for 2 days. I've been basically solidly brainstorming campaigns for this, and actually I've kind of got to a place now where I think I've dodged it and done something really, really good. But still, it was so tough because I kept coming back to those words because there's no better word for it, and yet they're kind of written off. In the worst possible way.
I suppose everything becomes a cliche eventually, in a way, doesn't it? And people
That's it.
associate that term, or any other term, that may be a cliche, with the most extreme end of that
A very good way of
spectrum.
putting it. Yeah,
That's the
very
problem.
true. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a real phrase or not, but I think it's something that Terry Pratchett came up called ontic dumping.
Oh.
And I'm going to get this very wrong, but like
Here we go.
I think like ontology is like the study of ideas and concepts and stuff. And the idea is that because the human brain is wondrous and diverse, and we can think up and dream up the most amazing things.
Yeah.
But it's also very hard to focus on things. So when you come up with a very big, complex idea, as a species, we're very good at finding one word to describe it.
To sort of package it.
Yeah, so we dump all those big, complex, like feelings and thoughts into this one word.
Yeah.
And then we kind of forget
The original
all
meaning.
the nuance, and suddenly all we have is a word that means all this other crap. Without...
It's kind of like currency in a way, isn't it? It's like you've got this token that represents a vault full of gold. So and then suddenly we're trading with just the tokens, and we've forgotten all about the vault of gold behind it all. You know, it's kind of like that, isn't it? But
It's the post-Brexit world, that, isn't it? When we're trading in tokens. That'd be good.
Just get away from my
Oh, yeah,
tokens.
not the Brexit talk.
we'll be lucky if we have tokens.
Oh, I'd love a
I'll
token.
have stir-fried those tokens.
I'd love a token to put into my ration cracker bread.
We promised we wouldn't do
Oh,
this.
no, that's right. Yes, no.
sorry. In this land of milk and honey,
Yes.
that is coming.
It's a pretty obvious hate, really. And it sounds like a lefty rant as well. And that's another thing I want to be clear on here, is that really isn't it. Like, as much as from a lefty perspective, that term pisses me off, and potentially I haven't been, but I could be labelled as one with some of my not being a dick-like actions that I've done in my life. That is to say, just not been a dick.
Yeah.
But that's not actually the point I'm coming from. That's actually not my angle. My angle is like, we've lost words. They're just written off. Can't have that now. Fuck you. That's it.
We can't have it.
The end.
No
It
more.
is- no.
It is very clever, though. Like, I wouldn't...
God damn it! It is clever.
This is
John.
where, like, if I could find a hat to fit my freakishly large head, I would put my conspiracy theory hat on now.
Do it.
But I can't because I have a fat head.
Your head's massive.
But the problem is, I'd say some people have done a very good job of making certain words and phrases and ideas ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like
Deliberately.
you mentioned snowflake
Yeah.
earlier. That's so weird.
That's
isn't
another
it? Yeah,
prime
it's
example.
like
White Knight.
that's
That's
good.
another one. Yeah.
Which is interesting because like there's a Batman storyline at the moment, which I believe is just called White Knight.
Because of course he's classically called the Dark Knight, I guess. So
How ironic.
if
But, like,
duality.
The term snowflake, the people who ban that term around are people who are insulted by things those people say.
Yeah.
And they're very sensitive about it. So they go, oh, stop being a snowflake.
Fucking snowflake. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I
You're
don't-
being a snowflake. Oh.
I don't like. They fit the definition of their own definition of snowflake better than anyone
That's
else.
the thing.
They're getting so worked up about something, like they have to lash out.
I don't want to.
They have to resort to petty name calling.
You know?
I know we are like this isn't going to be like a sequel to the Brexit episode.
However-
we're not talking about Brexit.
However,
Here we go.
Speaking of,
It's too hot right now. We just have to keep on it.
it's like the other day, some gentlemen. I'm going to say probably gentlemen. Let's be honest. Some gentlemen.
Let's be honest.
As a protest, as an act of urban sabotage, tried to sabotage
Oh,
a
yes.
train line.
Right.
Do you see this?
No.
They tried to put this little device on a train track,
Right.
so it would connect the signal line. So anyway, it was just basically going to short circuit it. So it would just give the signal box the impression that the line was occupied,
Right.
and they'd attach a little note to it saying, "If we don't leave the EU, we will bring this country to its knees."
With one train.
Well, imagine wires cheap in
Yeah.
this economy.
Yeah, true.
In the
Well,
barter-based,
copper wire,
in the
yeah.
current climate, in the barter-based economy which is to come, precious metals will be very dear.
The threat was based on a natural sort of supposition on behalf of the threatee that they might do this more.
Yes.
basically.
The punchline.
However,
The punchline being, little realizing that due to EU regulations on train lines, it didn't work.
what they used to disable it was completely ineffectual due to current EU regulations.
That is outstanding.
Brilliant.
Of all the ways you could do your protest, To choose that is very, very strange, very specific,
Yes.
and wrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Well, when your march fails, you might as well resort to desperate measures.
Oh, their march did fail.
I think what kind of struck me the most is that they seem to have gone to the effort of on their home printer running out a neat little note.
Yeah, it was very.
Oh, I
neat.
was imagining a handwritten note.
No.
This is way better.
And possibly like laminating it. I
Yeah.
think that
Oh, yeah, it's got to be
yeah.
weatherproof.
Because a lot of thought went into something that was so badly wrong.
Badly thought out.
It's like a kind of village fate level of terrorism. Where it's kind
Yeah,
of
I like that.
You could imagine.
Someone's disabled the model railway.
We'll never get the donations we need for the church.
We'll bring Trumpton to its knees.
Instead, it's time for a talent show. And it's an impromptu talent show. It saves the day.
Yeah.
But no, I do agree that these terms, going back to your original point,
Yes. Let's go back
it
there.
is weird how they are basically outlawed in such a way
Yeah.
by people because they see these people as a threat to them.
Yeah. I think that's
And that
it.
can go both ways, obviously. I'm not suggesting it just goes that way towards lefty snowflakes, inverted commas.
Well,
But it can go the other way.
as John said, it's weirdly kind of clever
Mm.
because what it does is it sort of criminalizes or insultifies or sillifies the idea of being a good person. So you can't do a good act, or at least talk about doing a good act on the internet without being labelled like this and instantly discrediting everything that you've just tried to say. You could say something like, well, I believe, it's right to give everyone a chance, or whatever it is you're arguing about, and someone could just go, you're a social justice warrior. And instantly, at least from those people's perspective, your whole point and argument is null.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't matter anymore.
because you're only doing it because
you are a fill the blank here.
you don't believe what you're saying. You just want to be seen as special and caring.
And what can you possibly say to respond to that? No,
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, of course, that's what a social justice warrior would say. It's like, for
And then
fuck's
the reply to that is, well, why are you replying to this then?
sake. Yeah.
Well, I can't bloody win!
There's no.
I can't win! You can't argue with a moron, is the
That's-
lesson there.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's the
You can't
takeaway.
argue with a moron.
Well, it's like the whole thing about freedom of speech.
Oh,
I
yes.
hate freedom of speech.
Because I think we could all agree it's a terrible idea. Like we try, it was a fun
Said it
experiment.
before and I'll say it again. Democracy simply doesn't work.
But it's like God, I think someone was saying the other day, like they received a letter. Someone a local to the town we live in, which is Cheltenham.
Cheltenham, it is Cheltenham.
They received a
now we're
letter.
getting-
Now we're going to get
from-
so many letters now.
Doxed.
They received a letter from their local police and crime commissioner,
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner Gordon.
which
Sure.
came
They're all
on
called
like
Yeah.
proper headed paper and everything, looked official.
Look legit.
But it was basically like him having a very public rant about how he'd fallen out with the board or whatever, and he was being censored, and they were suppressing his freedom of speech. And I couldn't help but think, and yet
Here you are.
you're telling me about this. Like,
Oh my god.
well, it's like there's this whole thing about universities. Like universities are getting a lot of
This is a big thing at the minute, isn't
Yeah,
it? I
like,
was about to mention
this idea that
Yeah.
like universities are just becoming safe spaces.
And that
like,
and the students are cancelling talks from people,
Yeah.
controversial talkers,
yeah.
speakers.
The idea being that you're suddenly, because, heavy air quotes for the listeners at home, because all universities are just hotbeds of liberal
Activism.
propaganda and activism,
time.
they can't handle differing opinions. These children are so sheltered, they're such snowflakes, they can't handle it when somebody disagrees with them.
Yeah, that's the argument.
The problem is, we're going to Raymond's point, where you can't argue, what do you say, you can't argue with an asshole?
Yeah,
Moron, I
Moron,
said.
well-
But we can say arsehole.
But it's like,
quite like moron.
Oh, yeah.
freedom of speech would mean that if I wanted to stand on a table and...
They're not allowed to stand on tables.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, no. Damn it. You're quite right, no. But if I have complete freedom to just shout, I don't know, rude words.
Yeah,
I can shout rude
Piss!
words. Yeah, like piss.
piss for example.
Thank you for piss.
Piss?
Yeah, thank you for joining in. Piss. Any
Bogies.
bogeys? Yeah. I can do that. I can
Sure,
do that.
sure.
And now there are consequences.
Sure.
Some people might go, I appreciate the enthusiasm with which you are sharing your message. However, I don't much care for it. In
I
fact,
don't like it.
I find it offensive.
I'm going to throw a softball at your head.
And if that person punched me in the face,
Yeah.
say I was doing it in the street, and say I was naked. Now, if
Okay, now I like the story even more.
well, yeah, that was
It's really appealing to me now.
so say they punched me in the face.
Sure.
I had complete freedom to do that thing,
Yeah.
and that gentleman kind of had the freedom to punch me.
He had the freedom to do it. He also will face
There
some
are
consequences.
consequences. to
Because
both
everyone
our
has the
actions.
freedom to do anything they want, but there will be consequences.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah.
So say a university is going to have a debate or something. Now, if you follow freedom of speech to its logical conclusion, then on that panel you should have somebody who thinks one way,
Yeah.
somebody who thinks the other way,
Absolutely.
and a naked man screaming piss at the top of his lungs. Now,
We should always have a naked man screaming piss on every
because
panel,
freedom
I
of
think.
speech and
Freedom of speech,
fairness.
right?
We might need to place an ad for this show.
Well, no. The thing is, but again, so if then people turn around and go, you know what? I know what this person is going to say. They're just going to shout piss.
Yeah, they always do.
And his dick's out.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
I don't want that.
Yeah. So this guy, he's shouting piss at the top of his lungs. He's from, he's a member of a piss party.
Ah, the piss party.
The piss poor party. The PPPs. Like...
Don't shake their hand.
Don't shake their hand.
That's their campaign.
That's how they get you.
Don't shake my hand.
Don't shake our hand.
The PPP. Are you going to shake itself? Oh my God. Right. Okay. So then people go, I don't wish to hear the opinions of the piss party because I know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Because they're vocal on it.
Yeah,
and
very.
They're not here to debate. They're just here to shout piss.
Yeah.
And his dick's out. And I think he's pissing. If I'm in the first three rows...
That's the big three, isn't it?
Yeah, if I'm in the first 3 rows, I'm going to taste his opinions.
Yeah,
let alone
it's going to be like a Marvel 4D experience,
Yes.
except with a man's piss.
So...
What's the point we're trying to get to?
So why is
I hope we're
he?
getting there.
So why is he there? So, if then they go, we don't want that person. The piss poor party might turn around and go, we're being
You're censoring
You're
us."
censoring us. So,
but I'm picking up on that
Yeah.
point because I was about to say about censorship and people complaining about being censored. Private companies have the right to censor you however they wish.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what the BBC, all right, is a public funded service, blah, 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 and should represent all a spectrum of views. Fine.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, fuck off. They don't owe you anything.
It's like Facebook and Twitter. It's like,
Yeah.
they're stopping me from posting all of my piss pictures. Well, yeah, they can do what the fuck they want.
It's
Because
a private
theirs.
company. It's a private company. They do
own
what they
it.
want.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like just this week. I think Facebook announced that we're banning white supremacist imagery, and I was like, you haven't already?
Yeah. How has it taken this long?
Jesus Christ!
Q looking at watch with surprised eyebrows.
But so
Fuck.
it's like I don't know, like if you might have a debate at a university, and it might be like I don't know, maybe we're talking about poverty, or talking about race relations or something, and if you invite the hard right,
The Ku Klux Klan.
yeah, okay,
Come on down, high druid.
and they go like, oh man,
Fucking hate the blacks.
oh the
The big debate. KKK versus PPP.
the grand wizard,
wizard
comes in,
With a broadsword.
yeah,
I think they have swords.
and pissing constantly,
He's still pissing.
and you just go like, what?
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's the nature of the scorpion. The
Yeah.
scorpion will sting. This guy's going to say something racist. That guy's pissing.
The thing is, the nature of universities that
Hell of a
people
debate, that.
are forgetting is that they are a real hotbed of discussion and of having multiple points of view. That is the one thing that universities are actually quite good at. But they kind of draw a line at the piss party.
Yeah.
They draw the line at the guy who has a history. You just have to go on Wikipedia and look him up, and he just says, oh, he really just loves telling people how shit the blacks are. It's like, well, you were not going to get him in then.
No.
Because it's not a question of listening to what he has to say. It's a question of already knowing that what he has to say is utter garbage.
Yeah.
So there's no discussion. I'm not censoring you. You're a twat. Get out.
No, and you don't need to be qualified either to
No.
be a dick. It's very
You
easy.
don't have to be qualified to
incredibly
turn a
easy.
dick away either.
I manage it on practically like so regularly.
So regularly.
I'm an idiot, and I'm not qualified.
No. None of us are. We're not qualified to do this podcast.
It's only a piece of paper, isn't it? A qualification.
Yeah.
You can prove anything with facts.
I pissed
Yeah.
on mine.
35% of people know that.
I was watching. It was on at work, but on Victoria, Derbyshire,
Oh.
which is a program.
It's a radio programme.
It's a
Which is
TV
it's a
program.
television
It's a
programme.
television
Television
program.
you know.
Victoria Derbyshire is on the wireless, though, I believe.
The
also.
words. Ah.
Do they just broadcast like the audio feed from her show?
Might as
Yeah.
well, yeah, sure.
And here...
I don't know, maybe.
Why not? What audio description?
Yeah.
That's why on her show she's like, "Hello and welcome to my show, which I'm currently on, standing in front of a camera which you can't see."
Now pointing.
Gestures to camera.
That's another person.
But they had some parents on who were who weren't going to vaccinate their children.
Oh no!
Of course they weren't.
So
Why would you?
Why would you? Oh, it's overrated. But they were like, okay, well,
It's full of chemicals, isn't it?
let's have these concerned parents go talk to some science, and see if they change their mind. So they had them go see a doctor. They went to see a professor of like immunology.
They went to see the piss pie.
Yeah, piss, and he's giving a bit of willy copter.
Yes! Oi! What do you want to say on the matter of vaccines? I've got piss for you!
Yeah.
Okay, you usually do.
Here's a piss injection for you.
Oh,
and
God,
then
you just ruined the microphone.
They're just like full stream, like right down the camera.
Straight into the camera.
Ruin the lens.
So, while I'm
In
Conclusion, Your Honour.
I was very glad that the BBC was doing something to shatter some myths about vaccinations.
Oh yes, I did see you tweet.
Conversely,
I saw
Yeah.
you do a tweet.
On the other hand, it was very odd to have two concerned parents talking to a professor of immunology, and they go, "So there's aluminium in the vaccinations. Why do you, Professor, think it's appropriate to put aluminium into a baby?"
the BBC asked that.
No, this is for concerned parents.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I'm glad this discussion is happening. But at the same time, the professor has to go,
You're an idiot.
yes, but it's like a tiny amount of aluminium,
It's
and it's
molecular.
actually a very important part of the vaccine. And they have to, I mean, they're just like kind of smiling and nodding and go, yes. And at the end, they were like, yes, I think we're going to get our child vaccinated.
Brilliant.
That's a very good idea. But at the same time, it's like when you drive your car to work, you go, I'm just not sure about the car. I just... I just can't help but feel it's like some ulterior motive here. Like maybe big car.
Big cars.
I just feel
yeah.
like I wouldn't want my children in the car.
No.
And then you have to get like a car expert in.
Tell me, why does the car have fabric in it?
Why should I drive this car?
Yeah.
Well, you bought it. You're insured on it. Get on with it.
It's a bit like going to a car expert and going, so, I hear there are explosions under the bonnet. Like millions of them.
Yeah, like tons
thousands
of them.
a second.
Yeah, and lots of spinning metal.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible thing for my child to be sat inside.
And you want me to put...
It's like, no, madam, I don't want you to put your child in the engine.
Do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt. You want me to put my child...
Please finish
which
your
I
heroic
made.
point.
Which I made.
You made your child?
I made my child.
Do you know your child is 1% aluminium?
You want me to put my child...
My aluminium child.
in this death box.
Is that what you want?
Why do you hate my family?
Big car!
Actually, madam.
God.
I think we've substantially made my point about social
Yeah,
justice.
That's social justice.
Fuck you! But no, I do agree. It's all about fucking words, isn't it? It's all words.
It's all
words.
words.
It's all words.
It's all quotas, isn't it?
It's all words, isn't it?
Who's got hate?
I've got one.
Hey.
Oh!
But first, boo!
Oh, I look forward to editing that out.
Fucking hell!
And I'll tell you why I've done that.
Oh,
I filled my
please.
pants with brown.
Yeah, my hate is jump scares.
Oh! That was
There we
one
go.
of them.
That was a jump scare, wasn't it? Just
Oh.
to introduce the segment.
With an audio aid.
It was meta humor.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Because I was expecting it.
Metal humour.
I was expecting it.
Like
Like
aluminium.
aluminium, yeah.
Aluminium. That 1% is really coming through at the
There's
moment.
1% of aluminium in your joke.
In my Try to guess which bit.
Why do you think it's
Why
appropriate?
do you think it's appropriate to shout boo at my child?
Oh god, that scared me again.
Boo!
There's more poo.
I hate jump scares.
Really?
In movies, in television, in any medium, I would say. I hate them, and that's why I don't really like horror films.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know whether anyone likes them.
It's
do
not,
they?
but people love it. People get off on it, don't they?
Excuse me.
People go to
Sorry.
watch. My goodness me,
Please leave this in the final edit.
unbelievable! I stayed quiet during his one, and as soon as I start, he's burping. He's interrupting me.
Free for all yours.
That's unbelievable.
Your
You
hates
know,
are always a free for all.
Oh, this
I
is
was actually-
unbelievable.
I was actually thinking to myself, like, oh god, this episode is going to sound amazing because I've got my new audio editing abilities.
Oh, yeah,
and
fuck
it's just
that.
yeah, no.
I did the equivalent of shitting all over the podcast. Please continue.
I can't
Please
believe
continue.
it.
This is beautiful. No, please.
But people get off on horror movies and things like that.
Yeah, to be
horror
fair, you're
movies
right.
are increasingly popular, I would say, commercially.
I don't hate horror movies. But I don't like jump scares.
But why? Well, it's not my idea of going to the cinema and being made to jump out of my skin.
No, I don't.
Potentially to death.
Yeah. Also, I don't like dreading them. I don't like the build up to them. Knowing
you know they're coming. You know they're coming.
Feel like shit.
How if every cinema seat was designed so that a pin would shoot out of a chair at random intervals and jab you in the arse?
That'd be awful.
Would you go in?
And then you jump, and they go, "Oh, you jumped." Well, yeah, it's kind of like an involuntary reaction at this point.
There
that chair is a work of art then. So
there are weirdos out there who would probably volunteer for that.
I guess so, just to feel something, really.
Yeah.
I can't, but even there's children's shows where there's jump scares. I watched with my niece. I've watched shows and it's just like, oh, something's gonna happen here. Shit. And you're dreading it, and you're going, oh, I don't want to watch. Shit. And it's like, and then it is.
Are we talking like Peppa Pig? Yeah.
Like Daddy Pig will jump out of nowhere, and it'll be like, oh my god.
When
we were in trousers, we'd be pissing everywhere. It'd be like, oh my god!
Pissing molten aluminium everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think any movie, even Avengers movies, Star Wars movies, there are jump scares, and I don't understand the necessity for them.
That is odd.
What are your thoughts on possibly the greatest jump scare of all time?
In Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, actually.
Bilbo. Yes, yeah.
When Frodo takes the ring off him. Well, not takes it off him, but prevents him from grabbing it. It's in Rivendell, isn't it?
Oh no, it's at the beginning.
It's near the beginning.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And that comes out of nowhere.
That is terrifying.
That is fucking terrifying.
You see a freeze frame of that face.
Yeah.
God.
I remember seeing that in the cinema and jumping out of my skin. I was like, why is this the good time?
Do you think that was CGI?
That's not a good.
Why is this the good time?
Why is this the good time?
Another T-shirt design right there.
Do you think that was CGI, or did the actor have it in his pocket? Because
a pin to stick up his ass.
Because Peter Jackson, he's a one-take guy.
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't do it again.
Known for it, practical effects guy as well.
That's why in the scene, Bilbo is like, "Oh Frodo, I'm so tired," and you see like he turns and he puts like false teeth in.
Yeah,
and Frodo's like, "What's wrong, Bilbo?" He's like, "Nothing." But it's a solid 5 minutes as he tries to get the contact lenses in.
Yeah, and Frodo just has to like improv to camera for a little while.
Yeah,
it's like so.
So there's a cut of about half an hour in there before.
And then he turns around and goes, "Aboo."
But he goes, "I would like to see my ring one last time," and then Frodo like withdraws it from sight, and he goes, "Yeah."
Looks like a little
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that was a good yet horrifying moment in cinema history.
You're right though; they're everywhere. Like you mentioned Star Wars, and I was just thinking, is it one of the older ones? That might be Empire Strikes
Back.
When they're in that cave that turns out to be a worm.
They're creatures.
And there's things on the window. Aren't
yeah,
there?
I can't remember the name. That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing for you.
Minoc.
Yeah, see, no one else knows that, so it's only embarrassing for you.
Sarlacc.
Yeah, it's probably a Sarlacc.
The Sarlacc.
It's probably a Sarlacc.
Is in Return of the Jedi,
It's an
John.
Ewok then.
Oh.
Everything ends in K's. Minoc
Sarlacc is
Ewok,
in Empire. Bloody hell, John.
Sarlacc.
I'm sorry.
Sarlacc's the big
Emac,
pit in Return of the
Mymac,
Jedi.
Sarmock, Nickmock, Knickknacks.
The thing which he kills with the portcullis door.
That's
No,
Sarlacc.
that's the Rancor.
That's got a K in it.
You're just trolling me now. At least I'm getting them.
You are getting them. Gotta catch them all.
Do you think directors throw him in just because they're like, well, this scene's been going on?
It
like,
might
the
get
movie's
someone's
half an hour
attention.
in,
I honestly think it might be to add a little bit of light and shade. It's like, oh, my movie's very beige. I know, I'll put a spike in.
But people are like, oh, I watched this horror movie. Let's say it's It, for example, because that was obviously a very popular horror movie.
I don't know if that's jump scary though. It might not be.
But the people are like, oh yeah, there were some decent jump scares in there. What is a decent jump scare?
So they want them.
Why would you want that?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I've not watched that movie, and I won't because I don't like horror movies for that
cut
reason.
a decent jump scares in there.
I don't mind gore and things like that. I can handle all that because it's obviously fake.
Yeah.
But a jump scare, that is a real moment in time.
Well, Ali went to see Us, which I haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
But that's the new Jordan Peele movie. And she said that was unsettling. And she never used the word scary, but she said there were no jump scares in it. But she said in other places it was very, very funny.
Yeah.
And lots of people are saying like Jordan Peele is the new master of horror. And in many ways, maybe this is the answer. It's like we don't want jump scares anymore.
It's interesting.
Oh.
I heard somebody say that the difference between horror and terror is that horror is kind of fascinating.
And you can't look away.
You can't look away, even though you want to.
Yeah.
Whereas terror, it's just like, Jesus Christ.
And you must run.
Yeah.
It's like the original Carrie film. Obviously, that bit at the
I've
end, a
seen
hand just sticks out the ground.
Oh yeah, but I've seen that
They're
reference.
at a grave, and it's like, fuck me.
Jesus.
That's not fun.
It's-
Change my mind, anyone out there. If you want to comment on the post on the show, change my mind that jump scares are fun.
Change Rayman's mind.
You won't.
That should be a new segment. Change Rayman's mind.
That would be a good segment.
.co.uk.
There are a lot of these kind of modern horror movies.
That's
like,
what I sort of mean when they're sort of
Yeah.
increasingly popular, like Us and like It,
Get out.
Pet Sematary.
Pet Sematary is a remake, of course, though. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
okay.
they all have. I mean, mostly because mostly Stephen King novels.
Mostly,
but
yeah, he's
the-
very on vogue,
there's
on
all-
trend,
there's
isn't he?
all those,
Yes.
like, are they called like the Blumhouse horror movies? So like
Dunno.
Annabelle, The Conjuring, The Nun,
The Exorcist and things like that.
No, these like
Oh,
modern ones.
like Insidious.
Insidious,
Okay.
I didn't know they had a genre group.
Well, they're all made by like this one kind of like studio,
Right.
and they've got like a formula. Like they're not badly made,
but they're tenner penny.
they're very predictable.
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
know it's like.
Horror movies tend to do this, which is really, really weird, don't they?
Yeah.
You'll get Paranormal Activity, and then before you know it, we're on Paranormal Activity 12. And we're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
How did we get there?
Everybody copied. Yeah,
Yeah, but they make it, and then they just make more. And yet, unlike other movie franchises, like the next chapter, the next volume, whatever, has to be a whole new story and has to have a whole new level of appeal to it. Has to add to the thing. Whereas horror movies, they just go, well, let's just do more of the same again. Like you look at the Final
Yeah.
Destination movies, they're the exact same concept every single time. They just have different deaths.
Let's throw more of the same.
Yeah,
More of the
but
same.
people keep coming back for it. They must do, because that's why we were on Insidious 12 and, Paranormal Activity 31 and
Yeah.
Final Destination 908. That's why we're there.
Really holds up against 907.
and then
Oh,
and then they
907 was a masterpiece.
and then like the Fast and the Furious, they reboot them after number 7.
But just take the off.
Yeah,
Well, that's what they did, didn't they?
Yeah,
It was called Fast and Furious.
Well, yeah, they that's it. They had the Fast and the Furious. Like, oh no, we need to reboot. Let's just call it Fast and Furious.
Okay, can we just cut the bullshit for a second?
Oh.
Real talk.
Fuck.
The Fast and the Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious.
Excellent work, guys. Like, literally stellar.
They should have called it 3 Fast, 3 Furious, shouldn't they?
Then
The
wasn't
third
it the Fast and the Tokyo Fast and the Furious
one.
Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Fast and the Furious 4.
Was it?
Then Fast 5.
Fast 5. And the Fate of the Furious.
Jesus.
Was there not a 6 in there as well? Then it was like, as you said, one became like Fast,
Yeah. Was it Fast,
Fast-
5 or Fast 7?
and there was like Fast and Furious, or
and then
something.
Fast and Furious.
The
yeah.
Fate of the Furious,
And then
Furious 7,
Furious 7.
Furious 7.
That
yeah.
was it.
But isn't there one now that's a spin-off
Yes.
of that franchise?
Really?
And it's like supernatural.
What?
Yeah, it's got The
It's
Rock.
Baywatch Nights.
It's
Yeah,
a bit
it
like
is.
that, I guess, yeah. It's got Statham's in it.
Jason Statham.
I
What,
think,
so it's definitely same universe?
yeah,
Yes.
it's the same characters. They're in the Fast and
It's two
Furious
names,
movies.
isn't it? It's
I
like
can-
it's
like-
like Riggs and
my
Yogi,
McGulligan
Yogi
or
and
something.
Boo Boo or something,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's got supernatural shit in it.
Yeah.
Has it got
Yeah,
supernatural shit
I'm
in it?
bloody positive I
Like
read
ghouls.
that somewhere.
There are
Is
ghouls.
it ghoul?
Idris Elba's in it, I think. And he's like an alien.
Are they?
What?
Is the alien driving a car?
What?
I don't know.
I hope so.
I've only ever watched one of those Fast and Furious films. That was the first one when it first came out. And I didn't like it then.
Back when the most exciting thing to happen was they raced along a straight road, and then by like Fast 5, isn't it like?
They're being chased by a
I'm
submarine.
sure it's Statham and The Rock are in it.
Isn't it Fast 5 when
I'm gonna
they're
look it up.
driving along
It's like Hobbs and
McGulligan?
Calvin.
Hobbs and McCoy or something.
Yeah, but they're driving along like an ice sheet,
like a frozen
and
lake.
that submarine comes
They're
out,
being chased by a submarine. A submarine bursts through the ice.
and it fires a
torpedo.
torpedo, which is skidding along the ice. And the Rock,
Parallel to The Rock.
And the Rock leans out of a car and kicks the torpedo like
Yeah.
out
Which you
of the
would
way.
do, right?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, that's the only way to dispel a torpedo.
At that point, why wouldn't you? I mean,
When you're this far into Fast 8 or whatever it is, I suppose you would kick a torpedo.
It's called Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Presents.
Hobbs
So
and
it's a label now. It's like a publisher. Fast and Furious presents.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet, but
Except Hobbs and
Read
Shaw
the
sounds like a
synopsis.
mid-2000s DJ.
Hobbs and Shaw
Yeah.
pile into
I'll
a
read-
converging
I'll read-
Mustang
I'll-
to fight vampires.
I'll read you the premise from Wikipedia.
Oh, this is
thank
going to
God,
be
yeah.
great.
2 years after the events of the Fate of the Furious,
Which we don't know what that is.
which, whatever,
I bet they live
Federal
happily ever
agent
after.
Luke Hobbs and former British military turned mercenary Deckard Shaw.
Who's
Probably
playing,
Steve.
who's playing who?
But who knows?
Good question.
Yeah, good.
Statham's so versatile.
He really is.
Must join forces in order to stop a new threat emerging from Brixton.
What?
Brixton.
As in the place?
As in the place.
As
In London.
in London.
Okay.
A cybergenetically enhanced
What?
international terrorist.
Cybergenetics.
Played by Idris Elba.
That.
So we're getting into sci-fi now.
Okay, guys. I think we have to go see this, and I think we have to talk about it on the show.
How much car is involved?
It's hard to say.
Well, he's combined with a car, so Idris Elba is like cyber infused into the car.
Well, on the poster here, I'll show you. There's a photograph of some palm trees.
Oh,
and next to the palm trees is Big Ben.
That's not geographically sound.
And Statham is leaning up against some sort of car.
Okay.
And The Rock is sitting on a motorcycle.
So vehicles feature.
So vehicles are in it, but I don't know.
But does Idris Elba
How
need
much?
a vehicle, or can he run really
Well,
fast?
I don't know.
And is he
Oh my
blue?
god, yes. Is it a foot chase between a man and a car?
Is he blue? And does he only wear a pair of red shoes?
Hobson Shaw.
I see where you're going. I thought you were going to say, is he blue? And does he have a siren on his head? Because he's a police.
I'm going to try and find a photo of him.
Actually,
in the
come
movie.
think of it, we don't know who is voicing Sonic in the new Sonic movie.
Idris Elba.
Is it Idris Elba? Is
That'd
what
be
I'm saying.
Cracking.
Can you imagine?
I mean, the photos of him filming there, he's sort of in a Darth
he's in like a
Vader,
sort of
Kylo Ren-esque
kind of
outfit.
RoboCop bodysuit thing.
Yeah.
I mean, on the one hand, like, why wouldn't you?
But
Like
also,
at that point, but
why is it up to Hobbs and Shaw to stop this man car? Why can't, like, the police step in, for example?
I don't know for sure that he's a man car.
He's a man car. Let's be honest, if he's not a
could
man
be.
car, I'm not going to fucking see
He
it.
I
could
guess
be.
oh god, yeah. So I
It
guess
should be called man car.
That would be a great premise for a film.
in this universe,
Is it a man or a car?
In-
Nobody knows.
It's 90% of one and 10% of another.
in this universe,
And 1% aluminium.
in this universe in which up until now there have been no superpowers.
Up until, unless driving real fucking
That's
good
what
is
I'm
a
saying,
superpower.
because the only
Driving that car real nice.
He drives so good.
Because the only superpower of the Fast and Furious universe is having a sweet ass ride.
Yeah, having
like,
some NOS.
like they're basically superheroes, but they just hop in their cars.
Yeah,
and
their
then
suits
do...
are cars.
So
Up until now, the most unrealistic thing that I've seen happen in a Fast and Furious clip or trailer or whatever has been a drag race in the middle of London.
Yeah.
Because that would not happen.
no,
There is no room in London to do that.
There's like, you would have to wait a lot for...
You would be
heavy on
the
the
congestion
horn,
charge
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd have to pay all that.
Congestion
So, you know. But let's see how this pans out.
God, I want to watch it. God, I want to watch it.
well, I've got high hopes.
Yeah.
Anyway, something about jumping. Who cares? I'm talking about Fast and Furious now.
Yeah, we moved on.
That's me.
I've got hate.
Go on then.
I hate Bitcoin
Oh, hello.
/ digital currency trading apps as advertised on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I'll be watching a video.
You'll be watching some, like, Fast and the Furious trailer, say.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
watching like 10 things you miss in the opening 10 seconds.
The Easter eggs
of the
contained
Fast
within
and the
Fate and the
Furious.
Furious.
Yeah.
There'll be a red circle on the thumbnail. around
Rampant
Sleeper's eye.
speculation.
You do, sidebar, but you do wonder, don't you? When like, you know, a Marvel drops new trailer for Avengers Endgame.
38.
In
Yeah,
2
Easter
seconds,
eggs.
there's
Yeah,
a
there are.
video on YouTube of some dickhead, and they've taken like the thumbnail, and they've drawn a random red circle
Yeah.
about something in the
But
background.
I've watched one of these before, and like number 3, Captain America's there.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he is. Yeah.
They'll do bits and they go, this could be Iron Man or Thor. What, you mean the guy in the robot suit and the red cape?
And also, you don't know, like, the Easter eggs you missed. This one could be Thor, or it could be someone else that
Yeah.
you don't know. So you don't know, then.
This
You don't
could
know
be-
anything.
Or it could be Doctor Strange because they both wear red capes.
I could fill a whole episode talking about those videos.
Let's do it.
But-
no, it's not.
File that away.
listen to that.
But no, so I'm watching a video. I'm watching my videos.
Watching your
I'm
stories.
watching my stories.
Yeah.
And then it was suddenly, like, jarringly in the middle of a video, cut.
Yeah, I hate that.
And you get, like, a very basic animation. And there's strings going, like, diddle, 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 diddle. I'm like, oh, this sounds scary.
Inspirational.
And then this voice comes on and goes, like, we're entering a bold new world for trading. You know, and it's always just like someone recorded it on their phone. And he goes, success is round the corner.
just over the road.
It's very dynamic.
Join us at triumphtrading.com, where you can trade Bitcoin in seconds. And honestly, there's an advert, and it was like, you're a designer. You're a design guy, Nick.
Ostensibly.
Yeah. Okay, so picture the scene.
Okay.
It's a
I have a very visual mind, so get ready.
It's a verdant landscape.
Incredible. I can see it.
Rendered in
I can
see it already.
2 dimensions.
in pixels.
We want to suggest money,
Sure, okay.
but also the wind of opportunity and riding high.
What I think, John.
So, bear with me, Nick. So, dollar bills folded into paper planes come soaring
Oh,
over
God.
the hill, and the strings rise and
That
it's
to me
stirring.
suggests wasting your money. Like, why would you fold your money bills into little planes and
Yeah.
chuck them up? That's going to lose all your monies.
It's almost like called. Yeah, it just.
That, yeah, it's garbage.
And it's just like there used to be ones where it's like for some reason always like an Irish lad in like his early 20s.
Oh yeah, I think you told me
Yeah.
about this before.
He goes, and so it's like the ad begins, and it's a guy in like a pressed white shirt, like looking like a little awkward in front of the camera. He's like, "There's never been a better time to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum." Like,
you
His
seen
eyes
those
are
ones-
screaming, they've got my family.
You see those ones where it's like an Australian success story dude, and he's just sat in like a penthouse, and he's just next to this bronze statue of a jaguar or something. He's just like, I relate to the jaguar as my animal of choice. You know why? He's
I
got
have
no
seen that.
emotion on
I
his
have
face.
seen
He's
that.
like, a jaguar goes after what it wants. It takes it, and that's me. I'm ambitious, and I always take what I want.
So does a parrot.
I'm Jonathan Coins, and I'm here to tell you about. I've switched now to a different accent.
That's Johnny Coins is a great name, isn't it?
I'm rich.
Hi, I'm Johnny Coins. I'm rich and you can be too.
Here's how. Get a last name like mine. Johnny Coins signing off. Bitch. Buy
I like-
Bitcoin.
how many Bitcoin trading apps do you need? I mean, what does one do that a second one doesn't?
Well, John, you're talking.
You'd be
from a noob
surprised.
perspective
Although
here.
I've never actually engaged in any of this activity.
I
know people who have.
I have.
Have you?
I have.
Have you?
I bought Bitcoin.
Okay, tell us more. How did you buy your Bitcoin?
I can't remember what service I used, but I used an app. I downloaded an app, John. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, okay,
no.
okay.
I downloaded an app.
One of those app guys got to you too.
Luckily, I didn't do it off the back of an ad, but it was about 2-3 years ago. I bought 75 quid's worth of Bitcoin.
Oh.
And
How many Bitcoins did that get you?
It was like 0.000132215 Bitcoins.
So you didn't even get a full Bitcoin?
I didn't get one coin, mate.
Or did they send you like a pie graph, like a pie chart? Did
They send you a tiny sliver of
Do
a
they send you
coin,
a slither of
It's
a...
like a triangle.
which I used as a door wedge for the
But yeah,
longest time.
because a Bitcoin in itself is at least 2 foot wide.
Yeah, it's like a manhole cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they didn't send me
And
shit.
incredibly heavy.
They sent me an encrypted email that apparently I had to keep
Whoa.
very safe.
How do you know? How do you know
How do I know what?
that is actually a Bitcoin?
Well, all I know is that my plan was to buy this 75 quid's worth of Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
That's how you know it's authentic. It was from Bibcoin.
There's a new currency.
There's a new currency in town. Hello.
There's never been a better time to buy Bitcoin.
I relate to this
My name's
bronze-
Alexi Toddler. And I recommend Bibcoin.
I relate to this bronze statue of a chimp because I get what I want and money and Bitcoin. Buy now, please. Help me.
I relate to this statue of a chimp because I ask and I never get.
So I bought 75 quid worth of Bitcoin. The plan being
With your
that I would,
shitty app.
yes, with my crappy, shitty Australian-led app. Nothing against the Australians.
Oh, sure.
Lovely people. My plan was I'd not pay any attention to it for like 5 years, and then it would be worth maybe $1,000, and I'd be like, woo! But I ended up needing the money a bit earlier than that, and I cashed it out for about 200 quid.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's alright.
Ah.
That's better than a poke in the eye.
Maybe I'm the fool.
Maybe
Yeah.
you are, John. Well, you're not, though, because around this time, I started telling everyone, excluding you guys, obviously. I told a couple of people at work that it was a dead cert, because
Bitcoin.
like the day after I bought it, it was already worth like 80 quid. It had gone up that quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So one of my friends at work invested very heavily, potentially too heavily.
A former friend of mine.
Yeah, exactly. And it crashed not long after. But because I was that much further ahead, I benefited. But I'm not sure he even got his money back. Yikes, zoinks.
I think my problem is that Bitcoin aside, when I see these awful adverts, And 2 or 1, they're all just like with young lags, you know, pressed shirt,
Young
gel
Irish
hair,
lads.
yeah,
Wearing TM Lewin shirt.
yeah, and they're like, I can't help but I can see behind the curtains.
Yeah.
I can see the mechanisms, and I'm just seeing a bunch of shit for nothing. Like, you know, wannabe Alan Sugars just going like,
Oh God, yeah.
this is it, lags. We've got it.
This is how you make it.
And they pull their mom's savings together, and they make this shitty app to do what 101 other apps do.
Yeah.
And they throw in like the buzzwords like success, money,
Coins, 20 coins,
Profitability.
profit.
ROI.
And then it just, oh God. I remember like a random guy tried to add me on LinkedIn once, and his
Was
name
it Johnny Coins?
No, it was Johnny, and it was like Johnny Coins.
It's a great name. It's a great
and it was
name.
literally just like CEO at Success Incorporated.
Brilliant.
Oh wow.
And the photo was him, sunglasses on, in front of the planet Earth.
Shit, he was in space?
In space.
He took a selfie in space?
With a massive lens flare behind.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Got to have lens flare.
That's success,
Otherwise,
isn't it?
how are people going to know you've done well?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
it's just like...
That filter in Photoshop, it's not called lens flare, it's called the success
It's
filter.
called swag.
You've got to have at least 10 mil to unlock it.
I just...
Yeah.
Like, as we dip our toe into the world of business...
Business.
You know, as we get older and we start to like, you know, run a little company and stuff like that.
We all just get there eventually.
It's like we're learning, you know, we kind of feel like we're learning our way and we're being very cautious. And I just know there's some Jack the lad going in at age 21,
Yeah.
just with a killer idea and getting like £1 million of investment in some bullshit app.
But then thinking he can tell other people, like that's what really pisses me off. Like we see this on a smaller scale in the comics industry, and I'm not going to name any names, but there are people out there whose success has nothing to do with the quality of their product, and yet they think they can stand up there and tell other people how to make comics. It's the same. It's like you started with just £1 cool million from your dad,
Yeah.
and you've managed to turn that into £2 million.
I managed to turn that into 1.1 million.
Which you did from a salary for 2 years at a normal job at Waitrose. But yeah, and then they have the gall to stand up there and go, you can be as big as success as mine.
They're just like success wind-up merchants because it drives me
We
mad.
know they're selling a lie. We know they are.
Get rich quick schemes. It's like
You can't get rich quick.
going on the YouTube ad thing again. We occasionally see ads from this guy who's a bit more fluent in front of the camera, but he's talking to the camera. He's talking direct to the camera, and it shows like little snippets of like animation.
Oh,
yeah.
You go like, they're not great animation, but good enough animation. You go like, that's some animation, and then and I'm just waiting for like the little 6-second timer to count down, and he goes like, hi, what you're seeing are samples from just a handful of the hundreds of animators who I've helped make full-time jobs on YouTube.
Oh, yes, I've seen
And
these.
I'm like, that's a lie.
Full-time jobs. Like, we know
Yeah.
that animators are not supported on YouTube.
I've never met anyone I've gone, oh, so what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm an animator on YouTube.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but genuinely, like, if these people are making a living off YouTube, like
Hundreds of
animating,
them.
more power to them, but they're doing it off their own talent.
Yeah.
Like, just some like parasite in the middle of it going, I can make you successful.
Yeah.
I've made hundreds of people. Look at these images flashing on the screen. They're successful people. I made this video. I made them. I own them. I can own you. I'm in your house. Turn around. Jump scare.
Jump scare,
Yeah. Oh, it really
God.
just jenners my marbles. It's,
No, completely. Completely.
I get it. I hate YouTube adverts generally, I must say.
They are pretty
I
bad.
designed a great website with Wix. No, you
I
didn't.
designed a great logo with Wix. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Completely undermined my entire business. Thanks. Yeah.
I feel like in the history of YouTube, there's been like this weird, like adverts originally, relatively high quality and professional.
On
Like,
TV.
Oh, Audi's getting in on it.
Yeah.
You know, so Audi car advert on YouTube. That's great.
It's got to be good.
Then there was that dip where it was the sudden democratization of adverts, and you'd have like some guy in his. Do you remember you see this guy, and he'd do these little adverts about web safety and security, but it was like him in his kitchen, and he goes like, "Did you know?" And he's like, one day he's like, "Did you no, you should change your password occasionally."
You dick.
This has been a web safety announcement from me.
And they're scribbling notes like change password.
No,
Okay.
rewind.
Come back to me.
Hi, I'm Joe Safety.
You may have met my cousin, Johnny Cash. No, not
Johnny Cash.
He's an actual person. That's a
Johnny Coins.
Johnny
Johnny
Coyne.
Coyne.
And Alexi Toddler, my nephew.
Yeah, and now suddenly they've swung back up to being very chic and
Oh yeah.
and my thing is basically just like wait, skip,
come on.
and it's like yogurt. Am I right? No,
Oh, you're not right.
No.
No. Fucking hate yogurt.
Who's got love?
I guess it should be me.
I guess it should
go
be
on.
you.
It's your turn. I'm gonna do a burp in a minute.
I just did one. Oh, you're gonna do it on.
I'm gonna do it on yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you just want to wait till I get
No,
started?
you carry on.
Okay, so I'm gonna start in a second. So just get ready.
I'll be ready.
I'm sure you can hold it for a little bit, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'll be ready.
You'll be ready. Yeah.
God
cool.
help me.
My love. See, damn it, I was hoping you'd.
Oh Jesus Christ! This is a professional podcast.
Is it?
No.
Is it?
It was.
Semi-professional.
Yeah. We're not all Johnny Coins here. We're not all making a living off of this. I love taking a cat for a walk.
I don't think any of us expected him to say that.
No. We bought a leash for Dumpling.
Oh no, you're turning into those people.
Well,
Okay.
here's the
right,
thing, right?
okay.
She's
I mean, that is going to confuse the local dogs.
Oh god, yeah.
To be fair, isn't
That's
it?
a strange looking dog. She's an indoor cat.
Yes, I'm aware
Yes.
of that. Yes.
Yeah, and we were told.
That's Gog's will.
Yeah, we were told that she would have really no interest at all in going outside.
Sure.
That's not true.
Oh right.
That's not even
Okay.
slightly true. She's a wild animal, and we've caged her in a large brick box. She really wants to go out. She loves the window. She loves the front door.
So the real question is, what's the worst thing about your terrible house that she wants to
Yeah.
get out?
Why does your cat want to escape so
I
badly?
mean, there's a lot of loose magma around, I guess. But yeah, so we were like, well, we don't want. It's not going to be an ongoing big thing. We're not going to let her out. Potentially she doesn't have that much longer to live. Bless her.
That's
Um,
brutal.
And also, all of our fences have fallen down in our garden, so our garden's not a particularly secure place. So let's take her out in the garden, but under command of a leash type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, you're not not going to look crazy to the neighbours at all.
Well, we made sure to do it in the dead of night. No, we didn't actually.
Because that's better. Because if your neighbours look out the window late at night and you can imagine poor Johnny Coins. He's had a busy.
He's not poor.
He's had a. No, you're right.
He's there
Rich
at
Johnny
night
Coins.
trying to film his YouTube adverts.
Desperately trying.
Rich Johnny Coins, and his wife's like, "Oh, Johnny Coins, come back to bed." He goes,
Coins.
and he goes like,
Babs.
he goes,
Babs Coins.
I can't Babs Coins, love.
Babs Coins, love.
It's my tens of customers.
Maybe less.
They go, they need me. I've got to go mine Ethereum downstairs. And he shuffles downstairs in his gold dressing gown, and he's got a little
Clinking
coffee.
away.
And he looks out the window because he can't afford curtains, bless him.
So
and he
he
looks
spent
and
all
he
his money on bronze Jaguar.
And he had to exchange his curtains.
and he sees you in the garden.
He's out there again.
The cat
He's out there
Even
again.
a cat that is in a constant state of four-legged squat. Somehow, I don't know how, this cat is able to lower itself so it behaves more like a snake than a four-legged feline animal.
Sure. Oh yeah.
She loved it. She loved it because you could tell from how low-slung she was and how totally up for it she was and how she didn't just stay in one place only and not move at all.
It is a common aspect of cat body language that a low-slung cat is really up
A
for it.
low-slung, truly static, constantly meowing cat is happy.
Well, she was hissing with pleasure.
And the hackles were just,
so high.
her hairs were just radiating, bristling with happiness.
So we've done it a couple more times since then.
Poor cat.
No, to be fair, she's actually really up for it now. She's quite chilled, but
Very good.
she didn't enjoy it.
Where do you attach the lead to?
It's like a harness
Okay.
that goes around her, sort of a bit goes over her head, which she hates.
Weather vane. Oh, look at her spin. She's having a great...
She loves it.
She loves it.
I mean, I think.
It's amazing. Every time we let her out, she somehow always finds her way back to the back door.
Boomerang.
Is this an official cat product?
You can buy it.
Bloody hell!
I had to choose from multiple different ones.
I thought you were going to say it was an improvised dog harness.
No. There's a cat leash section in Pets at Home.
That is mental.
Yeah. There was about
I once
20
saw someone
different
take a
models.
ferret for a walk.
I mean, that's crazy.
I was viewing a house, the house before the
idiocy.
one I'm in now, and a street over from that, there was someone walking their ferret down the street.
And was he quite happy with that?
The ferret or
I
the
don't.
owner?
Yeah, it's hard.
Either.
It's hard to tell. I don't really know much about ferret body language, if I'm totally honest with
It's
you.
very, very low slung.
I mean, the owner was Probably in all sorts of trouble for all I know.
Yeah.
Probably had
Probably
had debts.
Probably had debts because of all those like YouTube videos.
Looked a bit rough.
Poor John.
Buying so many Bitcoins.
That's Johnny Coin Senior.
So desperate to own one Bitcoin.
That was when he went by his actual name of Johnny Tuppence.
that was his great grandfather back in old England. Johnny Tuppence.
Jonathan Tuppence.
Jonathan Tuppence here.
Esquire.
I'm going to make my hundreds of pennies one day. Any more loves?
Oh yeah. Oh, you've
I'm
done.
done.
You're done with your
It
cat
was as simple
torture.
as I took a cat out for a walk.
Right, okay. simple pleasures, eh?
Yeah.
Right.
I love.
Here we go.
And I don't know how this happened. Spreadsheets.
Oh.
I bloody honestly.
You're talking to like.
I know I am.
Dr.
I know I am.
Spreadsheet there,
I know I am. But before I worked my current job, I had never really used spreadsheets at all in any way. And all of a sudden I'm doing these massive fuck off spreadsheets, basically.
off.
And I'm pretty bloody good at them. And now I do one for football. I do all my football games I go to. I've got a bloody massive spreadsheet.
Oh.
It's great. It's colour coded.
This is porn for John.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's colour coded. It's got all the scores in the right columns, so I know how many goals I've seen Gillingham score. I know how many I've seen them
Does it
concede.
react if you change one cell? A chain reacts on.
It sure does.
What's your favourite Excel spreadsheet formula?
Oh, I do like just a simple sum and just highlighting certain blocks to make an end sum.
I love a sum if.
Sum if,
Sum if is great.
which is
That's when you say it's a sum, so count if.
fuck.
So you can say if
This is code
if
now.
this column is an X, then you count this. Or so and so. Or if this column says Dave, then you count this. When you have another
Oh,
box.
the Dave factor.
Yeah, but you have another box and it's like, what is Dave-O?
Yeah.
You know, that's
The
how
only thing I like about
Johnny
spreadsheets
Collins keeps track.
is if you make all the cells really small
Oh, sure.
and like tiny little squares, then you
Yeah.
can make pixel art with it.
Oh.
Have you?
I have.
Oh.
That's pretty much all I've done.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
I made a Mario once in Excel
Oh,
by
there you go.
colouring cells.
Oh, I see.
There aren't enough pictures in Excel. I feel like it's not really a picture place.
It's not only a medium known for...
Art.
No.
Do you remember there used to be that Easter egg in Excel
No.
where you like you had to scroll down to like cell 99 in like column like BB or whatever,
Oh, really?
like far right, far down, and then you had to put a certain code in. You pressed enter, and then it was like a labyrinth would appear, like a 3D
Ooh.
labyrinth. It was in like Excel 95 or something.
All right.
That was all I ever
didn't
used
know
Excel for. Either that or making a Mario out of pixels.
Just to find the
Find
kind
the
of
Easter egg. And then
mythical labyrinth.
it's kind of like Doom, basically, but with no guns.
Oh, just numbers.
Well, no. Otherwise,
That's
I'm
number wang.
Because what you're describing sounds very much like a kind of educational TV program from
It
the.
was very primary
yeah.
coloured, actually.
It's like a young Nick in the library, and old Johnny Coins is going like, "You loser! Spreadsheets are for
And then
nerds."
he punches me.
Yeah, but he
With
punches
some
you,
coins.
and him and his two henchmen, who are both sacks of money, walk outside, and you turn back to the screen and go, "Oh, spreadsheets! I always believed in you." And then like this magical hand reaches out, and suddenly you're in number world.
Yeah,
and you're going
like a colourful world of educational
And then the
learning.
theme tune plays. We're in a magical world
It's
of
time.
spreadsheets and coins.
And it turned out that that's actually where you mine Bitcoin from.
He goes, "Oh no, we're so glad you're here, chosen one. Only you can balance these equations."
I'm like, I'm so glad I learned quadratics at school.
Oh, we've just come up with an idea for a TV show.
And it's garbage. The Excel Adventures.
There you go. There's my surprising love.
Excelsior.
Oh, get out.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, yeah.
That's my surprising love.
Surprising
It is
love.
surprising for all of us.
There you
So,
go.
well, who doesn't like to be organised?
I mean, me, and also I disagree with you, but whatever.
I love a
Oh,
spreadsheet
it's-
dearly.
Yeah. Well,
I've grown to love
go into your
spreadsheets.
Excel's fucking treehouse with Johnny Coins. Actually, he hates them as
You
well.
can't come in.
I'll go out with Johnny Coins and his bags of money chums, and I'll have fun. You can play with cells.
Johnny Coins is too volatile to use Excel.
Yeah, Jesus, who knows what he'd do?
And Johnny Coins will tolerate.
Stop trying to say Johnny Cash.
Not Johnny Cash. That's his
I'm
dad.
just walking the line, all right?
Yay!
But Johnny,
Hey!
Johnny,
come
How long
on!
had you been planning that?
Johnny Coins will tolerate your presence, but only if you spend an hour cycling on his Ethereum like exercise bike, which he's got rigged up in the basement.
Oh,
More
wheels-
coins!
The wheels of the bike are just two massive bitcoins. It's like, how does he do it? What a guy.
How much money have I earned you, Johnny Coins?
Less than 0.00001 bitcoin.
Yeah.
Maybe less. I've got a love for you. I've got a love.
I noticed you're looking at your phone, John.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a news item here, which you might find quite interesting.
Okay.
So,
I'll be the judge of that.
there is a woman called Jo Cameron, and she is 71 years old.
Oh,
70
I thought you were going to talk about David Cameron's wife.
She's called Jo, isn't she?
I think so.
Oh, different. This is a different.
Oh,
Jo
fine.
Cameron.
That's
A better, maybe.
a better. Well,
Actually, I have no.
there's
strong
no,
feelings
no,
about
no,
it.
Nick. There's no maybe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a better Jo.
I was about to backpedal. You like lent into it. That's fine.
No,
Okay.
let's be honest. It's guilt by association. Okay, so Jo Cameron, 71, lives up in Scotland.
Oh.
71 years young. So Jo Cameron had a bit of a problem. While she was walking, her hip would occasionally give out on her.
Oh, no.
So she'd just be like walking, just stumble and go like, "Ooh,
Oh,
that's a bit
Oh, my
awkward."
hips popped out.
So she went
there's
to
a
the
bone on the ground.
went to the doctor, and she was like, my hip's a bit weak. And they go like, "Oh, okay, are you in any pain?" She's like, "No."
Are you a doctor, Joe? Well, fuck off.
Do you think it's appropriate? Coming in here with your aluminium leg.
Joe needs more aluminium, everybody.
Quick, down the aluminium mines.
Well, I diagnose aluminium daily. So,
Fire and lots of it.
so they go, "Are you in any pain?" And she goes, "No." And we go, "You're probably fine. Off you go."
Fuck off.
So
That doesn't sound trustworthy.
so
That sounds exactly like
this
every
goes
GP I've
this
ever
goes
talked to.
this goes on for several years.
Oh, fuck.
So
Okay.
and then she goes back and goes, "I just like my leg just keeps giving out on me. There's just no strength in it. Are you in any pain?" "No pain." "Oh, I guess we'll give you an X-ray." Give her an X-ray. It turns out her hip is disintegrated.
Oh, God.
Like just through like old
I
age,
don't like this job.
osteoporosis, and they're like, "Jesus!" I'm like,
How are
"Jesus,
you walking around?
How are you in any pain?" And she's like, "No, I'm in no pain at all." And then the doctors go, hang on a minute, let me have a look at your hands." And they go like, "Do your thumbs hurt?" And she's like, "No,
Her
not
thumbs
at all."
were hips.
And her thumbs, she's like, and they're like, "Oh my God, you have like the worst joints and osteoporosis and both ever. Are you in no pain at all?" And she's like, "No, not really."
She's a superhuman.
Yes, this is what I'm getting.
She
to.
must be.
So she had a hip replacement and thumb surgery,
Thumb
which is said
replacement.
to be like some of the most painful surgery you could imagine.
She's got chimp thumbs now.
And then she woke up after surgery.
would,
She was
wouldn't
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I feel a bit sore. I guess I'll have a couple of paracetamol."
Come
Fine.
on.
So they have discovered in this amazing woman called Jo Cameron, she has 2 crazy mutations.
Oh my
I
god,
just
she's got the XG.
Yeah, because doctors were so baffled by the fact that she couldn't feel any pain that they did a genetic test on her, and it turns out she has 2 previously unknown mutations.
Bloody
where
hell.
one, she doesn't feel pain,
What? At all?
maybe mild pain,
How has she got this far in her life with that not being a thing?
That is
because she
mad.
has a second mutation, which means she doesn't form painful memories.
So she doesn't remember
Doesn't remember if she is in pain.
if she is in pain or
She's
not.
perpetually happy,
Oh my god!
Bloody
and
hell.
she doesn't really feel pain. And the only downside is she's a little forgetful.
Well, I'm a little forgetful, John, but I feel pain every day.
Now, admittedly, there are like a few downsides. She says she will occasionally lean on the oven, and like the only thing that alerts her to it is the smell of burning flesh.
Yeah, but like next day she'll look down at her hand and there'll be this like huge black scab, and she'll be like, "Wonder what that is."
Yeah. How did that happen?
And she said like after she gave birth to her children, she was like,
Went back to work.
She was like, "I'm a little sore. Guess I'll take a painkiller."
Yeah,
and then
back
just
to work.
yeah. And so and it's incredible. And her son has one of the mutations, so he can't feel pain as much, but he does have the he still
I
remembers
can't believe
pain.
the body's even capable of mutating in this way. This is incredible.
It's
That is
astonishing.
mad. That is mad.
So it's a bit like,
I'm not sure it's a good thing. thinking
well,
about it.
it is kind of interesting because like, if you have, I don't know, leprosy,
Let's say
Sure.
leprosy.
Let's
you
say
stop feeling
leprosy.
pain. The problem is that you keep damaging your body
right.
and it doesn't heal,
right.
and then bits of you fall off.
Ooh.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
So the fact that she doesn't feel pain in quite the same way means that she does occasionally injure herself. Like she'll, lean,
she heals as
lean
normal.
on another. Yeah, but she will heal as normal. Isn't that
That is
amazing?
amazing.
She's the first, like, X-Man.
So presumably this has been in the news.
Yes, it has been in the news, and so it's kind of like it's the fact that she's lived to 71, and by all accounts, she's healthy.
That
Maybe
is
she'll
mental.
live forever.
Yeah, maybe she
They
will.
might.
Yeah.
But it's like this is really interesting. So they could learn something from that. They could.
Maybe there'll be other people who come forward now and say, "Oh yeah, I've got that."
Yeah, I haven't felt pain for 200 years.
I think you'll get a few attention seekers who are like, "Yeah, I can't feel pain," and then the doctor like smacks a chair over her head and says, "No, it's fine."
That's the standard test! Just come over the chair. All right, brace yourself, Rog. Here we go.
brace
Kablam! What about now, Roger? What about
The
now?
NHS suddenly runs out of chairs. We're smashing them over patients.
Yeah.
All those kind of WWE wrestlers, kind of like just to make ends meet, are also doctors as well.
Yeah. What about now?
So that's my love.
That's very good. It's very interesting.
Real life superhero.
Real life superhero, and who knows, maybe we'll all get superpowers because we'll extract that gene from her.
I think out of the two of them,
That'd be great.
the sort of perpetually happy side effect is the best thing about this. The idea that she's just basically chill all the fucking time. It's like, yeah, I'm alright.
And it's like,
Your hip
fine,
has turned
yeah.
into chalk dust. And you're just, pops out every now and then.
Whee, lads.
Let's keep going, shall we? Let's go for a hike. Oh no, there's my thigh bone.
Anyway, on with the marathon.
they also thought she had a third mutation that made her a fucking lad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was just her.
There
That
is
was
a lad
just
gene.
100%
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
You'd think if you had the only worry is you'd think that if you didn't feel pain and you were always happy, you'd just become like a gibbering wreck in the corner, like not doing anything. But she's reached like 71. She's had children. She's had a career. Like she's done it all. It's
What a
great.
woman.
It means there's hope for all of us. Here's to you, Joe Cameron.
Yeah.
Here's to you, Joe.
And 71 more painless years.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do we think won? Hate or love?
Hey,
Just a default state
A
for you
strong,
right
contrary opinion.
Thank you.
We had a bit of a laugh over the loves, didn't we?
I think love won this time.
I think love may have
Wow.
won.
I think with that story at
bollocks
the
to you
end,
then.
my heart is raised to incredible levels.
fine.
Great.
See what I care.
Do you, Ken?
We don't,
Yeah, I do a bit.
You're outvoted.
That's for whatever.
That's democracy for you.
Well, I guess.
Not bothered.
I guess.
John, I think you should take the soapbox.
Yeah, I guess it's love one. I haven't done one of these before. I would just say, if you're looking for a sound investment, I think Ethereum is the way forward. You should check out my new app. It's called. Yeah, that's great. And
Shark Fund.
it's called Money Shart.
Fill your pants with coins. Johnny Coins. Fill your pants with coins.
A proud sponsor of the Piss Poor Party. Ain't gonna shake itself. Well, on that note, are we done?
We're done.
I think. Well, it's been delightful.
Has
It sort of has.
Yeah, it's been
In a
alright,
way.
Yeah, I give it a solid all right.
I'd give it a solid fine.
Give it a solid maybe out of yes. Legends. A lot of them.
Hello and welcome to a show.
Hello, welcome to Libel, the podcast.
We might edit this bit out.